We're hot back here at the Lakeside studio. Of course, I'm by myself, my old partner, Dustin. You somewhere else new this week, right?
Yeah, I'm in Orlando, Florida, waiting on the arrival of Hurricane Milton. I'm about 70 miles due east of Tampa.
You're going to feel the brunt of that big, bad storm.
Yeah. I hope the thing fizzles out and goes away, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it don't look like it. Stranger things can happen, the faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain. So, I guess if enough people have faith, that thing can fizzle out, but I don't think
there's no gas here. We fought in lines waiting for gas by 5:30, 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and we made it to Orlando today. We were going to top back off, and there's no gas in this area either. As fast as they're bringing it in, it's going out.
I heard there's big logistical problems getting gas down there. I think they're not wanting to bring it down there, and they can't. Truckers aren't wanting to drive into that crap because they can't get out.
Well, for a person that that drives a diesel, like I do. I've got both, but on a trip like this, typically I would be in my 3/4 ton. If you're running a diesel, there's plenty. All the diesel pumps at every big station we pull into, they're good to go. But we do have 2 pickups that are gas burners with us, and so finding unleaded fuel for those it's been tough, And the grocery stores are just picked over. There's nothing left.
Well, they're emptying out too because there's nobody delivering to them, just like the gas that get delivered. But I did see a TikTok video of a guy at a gas station somewhere off of I-75, and he was filling up with gas it had a yellow bag over it that said out of service. And I won't use the exact English he did, but he basically said the SOBs want you to think they don't have no fuel, but they have fuel. And he had just punched the nozzle through it and put it on in, turned the pump on, put his card in, turned the pump on, and it pumped.
I tried that yesterday at a raceway, and it wouldn't work, whether they turned it off or what. And then the other stores, if they did have gas, it was premium only.
Yeah.
They were out of everything else. And nobody else was trying it because they had signs on they had written notes on there that said premium only. So I don't even know if anybody tried regular unleaded or mid-grade.
Yeah.
We talked about that last night, but at the one store, it said no gas, diesel only. And we just thought we'd give it a try, to see if that was the case. Yeah. But we didn't. It didn't work, and so I went and sat in line with 2 trucks for I don't know, probably 45 minutes to an hour, and we finally got those filled up and moved on.
I bet you drive your diesel on something else like this.
It would be handy because we keep a 100-gallon fuel cell in the back of the service truck, and then I own a portable poly tank that I can move. Like if we were going to go to the hunting club for the weekend, instead of having to take 5-gallon cans or run in and out to get diesel fuel for the tractors, it's a 55-gallon. Me and you. Well, one person can throw it in the back of the pickup as long as it's empty or don't have much fuel in it, and it's got pallet fork slots on it. So, I typically put it in the back of my truck when I'm going on a storm like this, because a lot of times, like here, we're when it first happens, but even when I'm on the FEMA side and we come in a week or 2 weeks after the storm, sometimes power's still being restored. The computer systems ain't back up, so you have to bring cash. You need to bring extra fuel, and if you don't use it, you just go ahead and pump it so it don't get contaminated. You use it up, and it's done. So, lots of prep work if you lived in an area where hurricanes are frequent.
Yeah. I believe if I've lived inland, I'd have me an in-ground diesel tank or above-ground diesel tank, and I'd have me a diesel generator. You know, if I didn't have natural gas available. Matter of fact, I probably would anyway. I wouldn't want to depend on natural gas. You don't know when them lines might get washed up out of the ground, you know.
I'd probably or go propane.
Propane, whatever.
You know, and have a big tank because, and if I was going to do diesel in this area, I would probably have it actually up on stilts, you know, like gravity fed because of all the flooding.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Because when I do drive my diesels on these storms, I learned that the first time I went out of town, where the stations get flooded and all that. I think a lot of times the water is still able to get into the tanks. However it does, I don't know. But first time we went out of town driving a diesel, got water in the fuel, and a couple of times had to change fuel filters 2 or 3 times. And so now, if you reach under the seat of my diesel truck and look, there's always a fuel filter sitting there. I never leave without one. Because that happened to me on the hurricane that hit Daytona several years ago.
Well, I wanted me and you to cut this little, we'll call it a bonus makeup for the Screw Up podcast. I don't know. You know, I got out there and we thought we had all of our files repaired, and we can talk about that a little bit, 'cause other than what little bit of posting I did about it. But I had everything ready to upload. So I'd already put out a post that it was going to be uploaded later on, I guess Monday now. And as I was listening to it, making sure everything blended right, the opening music, you know, our opening, and then when it ended, it blended with the music right. That's when I discovered the last minute or so, minute and a half, and some of the best part of the podcast. For me, it was almost my favorite part. I hate to say that, but it was gone. It just abruptly cut off. And I went into panic mode. I started, you know, I listened to it 2 or 3 times. I thought, well, maybe you can actually shorten the clip. I thought maybe I hit the button and, you know, drug it up and closed it off. And when all that failed, you know, as much as I hated to do it, I text Lauren with the Fistful of Dirt podcast. That's Cuz's daughter who we interviewed and who had actually took these giant files we originally had the trouble with. Didn't even talk about that. That's why it was late to begin with. But anyway, she had took them and fixed some problems that had happened when we recorded down there and got it to where we could upload them here. And I told her what was going on, and of course she still had the original 3 files that she had combined, and she listened to that 3rd file, which was the last part of the podcast, and she said, it's short. She didn't listen to it. She just had the file. She knew what to do. And she said when it uploaded short. It cut off. And I thought, oh God, you know, so, and she's very busy right now. And of course, I guess, you know, we learned a lot talking with her anyway, that, you know, she just doesn't do the Fistful of Dirt podcast. She's still a video producer and editor for Mossy Oak. And then plus Cuz has been in North Carolina this week. You know, they carried a load up there, and I'm sure she's got a ton of his video that he's bringing back that she's got to edit and produce and, you know, put out for content. But she had told me she was very busy. This was before Cuz left for North Carolina, that, you know, she has her regular job, which I understand.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it'd be later in the week before she could look. So I told her I'd re-upload the file, which I've done. So it's sitting out there. And hopefully, you know, if she don't get to it this week or next week, whenever she gets to it, we'll put it out. And if for some reason we can't, you know, I'll let everybody know right now that, you know, we'll make a comment there at the beginning of the podcast and let everybody know that, you know, it's going to end kind of abruptly. You know, there won't be kind of a signing off part of it. It's really hurt me because I was right in the middle of my begging. Man, I was begging so good. And so,
I know.
So, anyway, that's kind of the whole reason for this little bonus pop-up podcast we're doing anyway. And I want to apologize to everybody that listens, because I've had, and this is shocking to me, Dustin, you would not believe the people that has walked up to me and said, where's the podcast? You hadn't put one out. I listened for it Monday. You know, generally they come out on Mondays.
Yeah.
This was down Saturday at the work club. And I know some of them's my friends, but I didn't know they were even listening or dedicated listeners. And one of our members, Patrick, good dude. I'm going to call him out because he did. He said, man, I was listening for it. And I kind of explained to him what happened. This was before I even knew I was going to get it produced, stuck back, put back out. I told him I got it all done and it would be out this Monday, and sure enough, it didn't happen. So, but I've got texts from 2 or 3 people now going, hey, what's happened? That some of them just assume because you're working the hurricane and cleanup, that kind of stuff. Maybe we got delayed, and which is probably a little bit, we could have already done this. But
yeah, and we've got a couple of guests. We had to reschedule one because we felt like I would be back home, and then we called him, and his schedule had got kind of changed up, and it's just, I guess it's just part of it.
I guess it is, and once you get back, I think maybe me and you will sit down and we'll work out a plan where we're not going to miss. If I have to record by myself because you're working 16 hours a day, or I'm going on vacation or in South Dakota and can't get back on, like I was this year, you can pop right in here. I mean, it's meeting 2. It don't say meeting 2 at the same time. As long as we got a guest, because I don't want to schedule a guest and have to reschedule him or them or those. And,
Well, and maybe we can get ahead a little bit. I mean, a lot of people get ahead, but we kind of like to keep ours somewhat.
Well,
live
I like to stay. I like to stay current because you can.
Too.
This podcast with Lauren, it could really come out anytime. I mean, we're not talking hunting seasons or something in current events. I think we did talk about the hurricane, and even a week later is not a bad thing. But if something. And man, I hate to keep teasing it, but it's such a good podcast and it's so informative. I mean, I think people that even produce podcasts will want to listen to this and just pick up a little helpful hint here and there. But, it's not something that has to roll out like we're going to talk about opening day of deer season, which we can talk about here. I'm going to get this one out tomorrow. It will go up.
Right.
Well, this is Tuesday night. Wednesday, I hope by lunch, this thing is hot and loaded. But, so if we talk about opening of deer season, which is already open in Alabama up your way, and Tennessee's open, Georgia's been open, Mississippi, I guess, has been open. But here in Alabama,
pretty nice deer done killed at the little club we're in Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a nice, hey, yeah. I'd be proud of it. Be very proud of it.
Adam killed him. Adam killed a big old freezer queen the other day. I think she was 120 hanging weight. Oh, that's a pretty good size doe.
That's a big doe.
Got him started with some meat for the year, which, I told you, him and his family, that's all they eat. I mean, they buy a little bit of pork and stuff like that, but as far as ground beef, it's deer bust,
Yeah. I haven't heard anything out of the Talk About It guys. Have you talked to them any since you've been gone? I mean, I thought they might call me and check in and say, hey, how's he doing or something. But I know they're busy. This hunting season, they're working. They work full-time jobs just like we do and trying to produce video and do their calling contest, which from everything I saw the other day, that the one they put on did really well. It seemed like it did from what I heard and saw on social media. They're putting out their Chasing Weekends episodes, so I know they're busy. But
yeah,
anyway, so, maybe I'll get an update from them next podcast, or you will, or we'll talk to them. We'll know what's going on over there, and we can let people know. I know they're doing what their normal podcast, and then they're doing a caller series podcast. So that they're recording at least 2 a week. So,
and that could get tough for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you can keep your content right and keep your time on schedule, I mean, you could spend a couple of hours and knock them both out, I guess. But they're just like everybody, and like I've learned, you can't go by a clock. Listen, when we get through with this podcast that's screwed up, our Mossy Oak or Fistful of Dirt with Lauren podcast, that thing's going to be over an hour and a half. I mean, just by the time you put a little music in and a little intro in and a little music leaving, I didn't realize it was that long, but it is. And it's worth every minute of it. God, I hope we hadn't made her upset. So, she'll let us come back and interview her again one day.
Yeah.
I'd love to get her on, and maybe we can do it just like this next time. Me and you sit down and get her piped in, and at turkey season do a little, because she loves turkey hunting.
Oh yeah, and loves them boys getting outdoors. I think that she likes that as much as she does getting to do it herself.
Oh yeah.
You can tell she loves seeing the kids do it.
Well, I mean, I was the same way when mine were growing up. And to be honest with you, I really, Christian's got back in it. My boys are grown. Yours is still coming on up. But now I want to try and help Christian because, he kind of got out of it, didn't seem to care about it. Now he's back in it, but, he's 32 years old, and so he's a grown man. He's got his own ideas because, I had plans. I was going to take him and show him some places. And, I did help him clean out an area and make some shooting lanes and that kind of stuff. A place he found, put out his camera and that kind of stuff. And I was going to show him, I've been hunting this property for going on 25 years. Well, since 98, so however long that is. So I've got places that I know about that I hadn't been to, but maybe once or twice since 2016 when we got, after it got cut. Of course, the property all changed. The boundaries didn't, but the way you hunt it and places you hunted changed. And I've got 3 or 4 spots that I won't go back and hunt that I know hold deer, and, but he's always busy. I got to get this, stand put up, or I'm going to go over here and clean out this area. And then like this weekend we planted our fields. We got everything done. And I went and finished up, I got a couple of little private places I planted Saturday night. And my plans was Sunday morning, I was going to get up, me and him, and jump in the little Samurai and ride over. And I was going to walk him off down in a couple of bottoms that still hold some woods and got some acorns and stuff. And say right here, he's not a big tree stand climber. Or climb trees with a tree stand, but the ladder stands and ground blinds and that kind of stuff. He's all over. And say, hey, if you want to put up a ladder stand right here, I've got 2 or 3 laying around the camper. We'll get them out and put them up. And he'd have a good place to gun hunt. But lo and behold, I didn't even think about it. That Saturday was his wife's birthday, and he was down there planting because that's a mandatory day. And
right.
He come down by me, him and a couple of the younger guys, they were going to eat dinner. I just cooked something on my grill and, invited me to come eat with them, but I didn't go because I didn't want to be the old man sitting there, if they want to cut up and do young man stuff like I did when I was that age, or feel like they couldn't. They can do whatever they want to do. They grown men. As long as I don't get put in jail, I don't care. Yeah. He come down, they went to dinner, and he said, I'll see you after dinner. I said, okay. So he come back, and that was about 9:00. He knocked on my door, which it was open. I got a little, like a storm door I can open up. So my big door, when it's closed, I can see out. He walked up, he said, hey, I'm going to the house. I said, you're not spending the night? He said, no. He said, today's her birthday. And this is what's funny. He said, She's upset that I was down here anyway all day a little bit. She knew I had to be here, but Alabama lost. She's a big Alabama fan. So she's tore up over that, and I'm thinking, tore up over Alabama? I mean, dang, I've been rooting for them for going on 60 years now, but I've seen them lose. But but she's of the generation that she's known nobody but Nick Saban and winning. You know, he didn't lose very many games, and the ones he lost didn't really matter. They still got to where they were going. So anyway, he left and went home. So then my buddy, I fixed a couple of highball glasses full of brown water, and I went out the door to walk down to his camper because me and him, we usually have a little toddy. Hell, it was dark. I said, dang, he must have went to eat. I went back in the house, and I texted him. I said, did you go eat? Because I was going to razz him about not asking me. And he said, nope, on my way home. I'm going to sleep in my bed tonight. I went, well, dang, I guess I'll have to drink both these glasses then. So I did sleep pretty good Saturday night. And then it wasn't but me and a couple other guys. And I got up early, and I was home by 11 o'clock. I got out, unloaded my tractor, which I got to load back up here with me this weekend, and disc up my field behind the shop and planted it. So I'm done planting. Thank God. I am finished. And I did see, I don't know if you've seen this, Cuz Strickland made a post. He showed one of his green
about
fields.
the army worms?
Yeah, did you see it? I'd seen a picture.
Terrible.
First, I thought,
that's terrible, man.
No more rain. I mean, there was nothing there. It looked like it was just this dirt. I cannot believe, I've never had army worms attack something. I've just never had them. I don't know if you have or not, but I haven't. So,
oh, I'm talking about you can watch a whole hayfield, 100-acre hayfield, go from some of the prettiest lush grass you've ever seen to just dead grass and dirt. I mean, just in a few days. I mean, they're that quick. They're that, invasive. It's crazy.
Well, he said that, that's what he gets for planting, middle of September. But they were trying to beat, what was that other hurricane, whatever it was, the one that come up through Louisiana and across Mississippi and Alabama. And boy, his fields did look good. And my buddy Barry, he planted some down in Randolph. He planted one field in pure Tecumseh, and let me tell you, it is the most beautiful green field I've ever seen. Tall and lush. Hadn't had a buck picture all year on a feeder. 4 shooter bucks coming in that field during the daytime, eating all day long.
I would like to know what my fields look like. We planted them on up here? Monday.
You talking about the ones up here?
Yeah.
Is Jamie down there with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We planted them. Me and him planted them Monday, and then me and you, we went to Mississippi Tuesday, and then I got called out Tuesday night, and I have been. I left the house was that like the 24th maybe?
You can't get old Bones. You can't get old Bones to go down there and take a picture for you. Go check on them.
Well, I figured Bones probably been going to his spot and putting out, filling his feeder up.
Well, he could swing by.
He ain't volunteered, and I ain't talked to him.
Well, you know what? I know they listen to this podcast.
My communications have been pretty terrible until, we moved to Orlando where they never had any phone problems. And because everywhere else we worked, I mean, it was a struggle just trying to get trying to use Google Maps and stuff to figure out where we're going and what we're doing.
If I had, any idea of where any of your fields were up there, I'd ride through there and take a picture for you. But, y'all put me on basically a Garho last year. I know it's better this year. That's the only field I don't even know if I can. I don't even know if I can find that, to be honest with you. That's been so long ago.
Well,
I know it's right off the road.
That's everybody's favorite field to hunt. I mean, there's been more big deer killed out of that. So we call it that.
Did you?
We call it the murder field.
But did you look at it last year? You know how big it was because you went in there and opened it back up.
I hunt the pine thicket. I
know.
don't even have a green field.
I'm just saying, you know how it looked last year. It was tiny.
Well, and you know, we planted early before we left on hurricane work last year, and we got no rain. And when we come home, the guys planted them, and we come home, there was nothing. What little you seen last year, that's just some rye that me and Jamie went and bought and threw out like, you know, the week before Thanksgiving, just to have something on them. I mean, our seeds didn't do anything last year. You know, we knew we were trying for time. We wanted to try to get it done, and you know, we just done the best we could with it. It was just too dry. So, hopefully, though, I mean, you know, we done a lot of prepping ourselves this year and done a lot of liming and fertilizing, and you know, tried to plant some really good stuff. We planted and I guess this year's kind of a test for us. We planted WMS Mississippi blend and done the North American Whitetail Institute clover. We kind of mixed those and put them on, so we've got year-round clover. Yeah. And you know, maybe we won't have to do so much work to our green fields. We tried to spend a little bit more money, a little more prep up front, and maybe on the back end, you know, we'll get to reap the benefits for a couple of years anyway.
Well, I don't know when I'm going to get mine. I'm going to see how everything. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll take a picture if it's still like that this weekend down there. I don't know what my fields will look like. I'm not kidding you. When we set that shooting house down, you know, I carried a couple shooting houses out there. Me and my brother's going to put up. But we set them on the ground. Right beside my first my main green field that I really like. I'm not kidding you, Dustin. There was not a piece of ground in that green field that didn't have turkey tracks. I'm talking about over turkey tracks. It looked like a tiled floor with turkey tracks. Oh, just track over track over track over track. Everywhere I looked. Mm-hmm. And
that's a good and bad problem.
I know. I mean, if they're not, you know. That's what one guy told me. He said, them turkeys ruin your green field. I said, you know what? I love turkeys so much, I'll replant the doggone green field. If that's what it takes. They can eat my seed.
And they can eat the seeds again and again.
And again.
It doesn't matter as long as there's turkeys there.
But I would like to see it grow something and come up lush and green. After last year, you know, it looked like Death Valley.
Well, and kind of know that all the work you've done and the money you spent is actually, you know, it's actually helping, and it'll kind of give you a baseline on maybe what you can do different. Or like, you know,
I plan on. Of course, I'm going to use. Of course, it's so dry right now. I didn't even try the little probe, but I'm going to take the probe, but I'm going to send off another soil sample next spring. Probably while I'm down there turkey hunting. I hope I'll dig me up a bag of dirt and.
That'd be the perfect time.
And then, you know, see what they tell me again. I got almost everything they prescribed, but you know, being just one person, it's tough. I mean, now that I realized that pelletized lime, I don't know why I was thinking that stuff's $10, $12, $15 a bag. You know, it was very, very, very reasonable to me at $4 a pallet, you know, a bag per pallet. If I'd have known that, I'd had that out in May, you know, letting it get on in there. I'm just hoping it goes to work. You know, it's been disked now. I mean, that thing was powdery when I got through. I run over and disked it again before I seeded it. Then I drug it. I couldn't even see a seed out there when I got through dragging. You know, it covered it up real good. I mean, lightly covered. I mean, you could walk around and pick out a oat or a wheat so here and there. But apparently the turkeys could figure it out anyway. But,
oh, yeah.
So all I'm waiting on some rain. You know, it's dry as a bone here, and they still don't have no rain in our forecast for the next 10 days. So I don't know.
Well, I had looked at that because we thought we were coming home, and I thought, well, is it supposed to rain or not rain? And me and Laura talked the other night, and I said, I kind of wish I would get some rain. She said, why? I said, because our green fields. Yeah. I mean, that's why. She said, well, it's supposed to cool off, but we're not supposed to have any rain for a little while.
Let me tell you, okay. I got up this morning, walked out the door, and They said it was 50 something in Coleman, but they do downtown Coleman. It had to be in the upper 40s. It felt so good. And I was actually kind of dressed up. I'm on an apprentice committee, and I had a apprentice committee meeting today. So last meeting, I kind of went casual. I was in shorts and T-shirt. I got in there, and all them guys, they was kind of dressed up. I don't know why, but they was. So this time, I said, I better dress up a little bit better. So I put on one of my polo turkey shirts. You know, I bought a turkey show, or she bought me at the turkey show.
Yeah.
I wore one of them,
yeah.
and a pair of little khaki slacks and my shoes. Heck, I got in there, and there's supposed to be like 8 of us. They wasn't, but let's see, 1, 2, 4 of us. 4 of us showed up today, and most of them was in jeans and ball caps. I thought, well, dang, I could have wore my shorts. I mean,
well, it taught you a valuable lesson. Just wear whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Be
and we finished early enough. I got by and got to pick up your rifle. I had to backtrack and go down through there. He did. I had to pay for it with a credit card. He had to add a little 3% to it. So whatever that turns out to be. But you're making all that big money now, so I know you're good for it.
Oh yeah.
But that thing turned out beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. So.
Well, I forgot to ask you in all the excitement, did you pick your shotgun back up?
I did pick it up, and he promises me the stock won't slide down no more. I don't know what took him. Maybe he went and found the part, but he had told me he was going to machine the part. There was like a bushing or something that had to go in. You know, I think that thing me and you were looking at on the diagram, I think that's what was missing in there.
I do too. I mean, I just can't see how there could be that much slack.
Well, I mean, it pulled back about 3 inches from the gun.
Yeah,
so. I'll tell you what, it was exciting it was exciting when you pull up, shoot at a dove, and the stock slides back 3 inches, or the gun slides forward 3 inches, whichever way you want to look at it. So
yeah, that can make one panic pretty easy.
I did. I panicked, but once I realized I could hold it together, I finished my shoot. There wasn't else I could do. It didn't hurt nothing.
Yeah.
So
hopefully if things work out next year, maybe we'll try to, we might get together and try to do some kind of dove field or something, you know, and try to plan to not plan anything for opening day and have a little fun and do something like that, you know.
We can do it up here. I've got a good field down there we could do down there. If we get down there and plant something in millet, you know, in June, it'll take care of itself for the most part once it gets up and going.
Well, you know, and there's a possibility that my buddy that put on that shoot this year, we may take our tractors over there or help buy some seed or something. And he's got a heck of a place for that big hay field, and he works it out to where, you know, they get the rest of the hay off of it, mow it, roll it right before the dove shoot, so it's a little easier to find the doves and everything. Yeah. So we'll figure something out. It may be some of the local meeting too. People can come and, you know, eat and shoot doves or something.
Yeah,
we'll try to figure something out.
Well, I'm ready now. The cool weather for the leaves fall off these trees, so we can get them squirrel dogs back in the woods.
Yeah,
Ruger's treeing 3 or 4 times a day, and there ain't no need to even do nothing. Like, you can't see them. I mean, I watched one timber out on him. He had run it up the tree. I walked down there. I always like to acknowledge that he's treed, you know. And I got to the foot of the hill and looked up. About that time, the squirrel, if I'd had a gun, I might, well, I wasn't close enough to get to it, but I could have run up there, maybe shot it. But he's doing good, but he's going to have to learn to start using that nose more. He's a sight dog. You know, a lot of them will do that. Yeah. I mean, he's watching the trees. Yeah. Now when he noses in that tree, and I mean, especially if he's jumped it up off the ground and running up that tree, man, he'll go 6-8 feet up that thing and just gnaw on that bark. You know how they do.
Oh yeah.
He just loves it. So I want to get them in. Plus, we got all your dogs to get in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we need to talk to we don't even, you know your buddy, I'm not going to call his name. He's got down there by Guthrie, he's got the property for sale. Man, that is some beautiful hardwoods, flat as a pancake.
Yeah, and I had a place to hunt maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 miles from that place, and I got to hunt it twice, I think, and I was kind of looking forward to going back down there this year, and I just found out, well, it was a week I left that the guy had sold it,
Really?
and it was such a great place to squirrel hunt. You're so far away from a main road. It's at the dead end of the county road. Had a it's pasture land, but it had a nice slope, gradual slope hill there with big hardwoods on it. And then it goes into a back area that he's kind of used for his kids and family to be able to, deer hunt and stuff home and not be involved with the pasture part of it. And a lot of good hardwoods in there. And I've been fortunate to get to hunt there. Like I say, I think twice. And it's just easy walking. And it's, like I say, it's really nice big hardwoods, but it's in that same area. And so I think I've probably lost that spot to hunt, which that happens. But yeah, we can definitely talk with him and try to go, which he would love. He would bring his grandson. His grandson.
Well, he has a couple of squirrel dogs, don't he? Or
they got a coon dog.
Okay.
He bought his grandson. Let's see, he's in, I think, second, third grade, something like that. Bought him a coon dog a couple of years ago, and they go and do that. And I'm always telling him, hey, if we go squirrel hunting, bring him. And he said, y'all need to come to the house and squirrel hunt, and I'll make sure he's there. And so, I mean, I don't think that'd be a problem to get together.
Well, good deal. Well, we got some squirrel hunting we can get done if we can just get time.
Yeah.
If you can get through these storms and we can kill a couple of deer and kind of get that monkey off our back. I've got this big old hog now that kind of got my sights set on. I care more about killing him, but I'll let anybody shoot that hog. I don't care. I've killed a big old hog before.
This kid, if I can get home, I'm going to go down there with you. And while you deer hunt, I'm going to hunt that hog.
That'd be hard to do since I'm deer hunting in the same spot. You might have to sit in my lap.
I sit in the shooting house or in the blind or whatever I've done it before. Ain't no problem. Because I've never killed a wild hog.
Well, that would be a damn trophy. I'll be honest with you. He's going to go.
That's what I'm saying.
He'll go 200 pounds. He's solid black.
I killed that one. I definitely would be doing some sort of mount, whether it be a Euro mount or or something like that. That's what I'd like to do with it. But I don't know if I ever get home. I mean, I'm going to try to get these people down here, help them get their power back on, and maybe that'll be it for hurricane season, and I can return back home. And
just scout us out some Osceolas down there too.
Yeah.
You and pure Osceola country are down in there. You'll be back in the woods somewhere, unless they put you on the coast.
I didn't get to talk to you much last week, but I saw. I did get to see some turkeys in the surrounding Savannah, Georgia area last week.
Mm-hmm.
Seen in Metter, Georgia. Seen two gobblers. They come across a peanut field while we were sitting in the trucks waiting for our next ticket to go to, and I couldn't believe it. I looked out there and I said, "What is that?" And all of a sudden, I knew exactly what it was. At first, I thought some buzzards or something landed because they were way out in the middle of this peanut field. Well, they crossed the peanut field and went toward the interstate, and we went and done a couple of tickets. This was just kind of our staging area at a church. They were nice enough to let us park there and open their bathrooms up to us, and just nice people. And we had phone service there. That was the biggest thing, because when we get these tickets, they come in like via text message or email, and that's how we know, what address to go to and what's there that we need to look out for and do. And so we actually went down a couple of tickets and come back and was sitting there, and here they come back all the way back across the peanut field, same path they took going. And I told Bob, our safety guy, I said, you probably pattern these turkeys right here pretty good. I said, but the day you tried, they would decide that they didn't want to come that way that day. I said, that's just how they do. And when those peanuts are out of that field, that'd be a big game changer too. You'd have to go in early or go in midday and just sit and.
Well, I mean, you think about it in the spring, there ain't gonna be no peanuts. They done.
Oh yeah.
Got them harvested, and they might go out there and scratch around, but
just be dirt, wouldn't it?
Yeah, unless you accidentally carried a bag of peanuts with you. They fell out of the sky or something. Yeah. Somebody threw one out of an airplane. I wouldn't do that.
That's a possibility. Yeah, true.
Well, anyway, we've been mouthing on here for a good bit. We probably ought to wind this thing down because you're an hour ahead of me. Of course, I know you need to get some rest. I know.
Yeah.
Y'all are just waiting. I don't know how the tensions are high, especially now that you're sitting in the bullseye. And that thing it's going to be a hurricane. It ain't going to be a tropical storm by the time it hits the west coast of the peninsula. It's still going to be a hurricane. So no matter where you're at, you're going to be in it.
Yeah, I think we need to rest because I feel like we're going to be very busy. Possibly Friday if we can get in there due to the water. If not, I feel like Saturday it's going to be on.
Yeah.
I really do. So.
Well, everybody up here is saying prayers for everybody down there. I feel so sorry for everybody. Everybody in that Tampa all the way to Tallahassee's done put up with storm surge and high winds, and here it comes again. So y'all be, same with you. You're sitting in the middle of it now. So now, I got skin in this game. It's not just people on the TV. So all y'all got to be safe down there and don't get no places you shouldn't be in. Watch for alligators.
Oh yeah, and snakes too. They're still crawling here.
Well, yeah. It's still, heck, it don't ever get cold enough for snakes to go in down there, or rarely does. But I guess we'll just wrap this thing up if you're ready to, and we'll call it a night and let you get in bed. And I do want once again just apologize to everybody for. I feel like I gar-holed them, as far as putting it out there. Hey, this is coming, and putting up a picture and telling them what it was going to be. The best one we've done, and it's still sitting there. It's going to come out, good or bad. It's going to come out. So
right, we're either going to get to complete again. Or
yep. Maybe those folks at Mossy Oak will feel a little sympathy for us. I mean, we are on here doing our makeup for the Screw Up podcast, and maybe they'll feel some sympathy and send me that email over and tell us that, fill out this piece of paper and y'all will be pro staff. That's all that's all I can hope for.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not going to beg on this one. I mean, I guess that's a little begging, but if you're out there listening, we're still waiting.
Yeah. We still saving the spot.
You know what I'm going to do?
Sure.
And I'll make you one if you want it. I'm going to make me a T-shirt, and it's going to be bright orange, and it's going to say, please make me Mossy Oak Pro Staff right on the front of it. And I got the person that can do it.
I guess
tell Toxie I want to be Pro Staff or something.
Yeah.
If Lauren don't come through for us, I'm going to have to put Lauren let me down, Toxie make me Pro Staff.
Yeah. Or when I grow up, I want to be Mossy Oak Pro Staff.
Hey, I'm getting to be an old man. I might be dead before they turn us into pro staff. I mean, you just have to put me on a bottomland tombstone, I guess. I wonder if they make those. I need to check into that. I am going to be.
I don't know.
I do have that bottomland, suit jacket. So if I pass away and can still fit in it, matter of fact, I'd have to gain some weight to get in it now. It's going to be way oversized for me, but make sure they put that on me in a T-shirt, no tie. But yeah.
Well, my wife's going to burn me in my Mossy Oak Crocs, so I'm good.
No, I want to be. I'd be freeze dried. I want them to dig me up and put me in a museum 1,000 years from now. I want the aliens to dig him up and go, look at that. Yeah, look at that specimen. No wonder they went extinct. But anyway, all right. Well, you got anything else you want to want to say or do before you get off here? Because I got a feeling I probably won't even get to talk. I might talk to you a little bit tomorrow, but after tomorrow, I probably won't talk to you for a few days, maybe a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to keep in touch tomorrow and let you know that we're still okay.
All right, yeah, because I'm watching. Heck, I got the Weather Channel on now. Just watching and seeing what they say. Of course, nothing's really changing. But they'll be flying another. They ought to have another update out by now. So.
Yeah, I was going to go check it and keep an eye on that.
I wish this thing would come in during the daylight, so at least you see what's coming. I hate these nighttime storms.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Anyway, let everybody know we're thinking about them. Let your crew know. Yeah. So,
and we're thinking about all the people up in the Carolinas and everywhere else.
I feel so sorry for those people. It is. It's a shame what our government's doing to those people, and I believe on purpose. I'll just say it right here. They're doing it to them on purpose. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's punishment or what, but it's on purpose. I can't believe anything else now. Oh, I heard today on the news before we get off here that $750.
Yeah.
3/4 of people that's asked for it got turned down.
Well, I haven't been on TikTok much because of service.
This was on Fox News. I know everybody. But
I got to watching it, and these were people that lived there, and there was a ton of them saying, the one woman, she had like 2 or 3 kids, and they had lost everything, and she said, we have nowhere to go, we have nothing, and I got denied, for any kind of FEMA, help or benefits. And I'm like, what? You just get mad. Like,
I'm mad.
I couldn't.
Hey, I saw a map of all the southern states, Virginia, West Virginia, all the way across to Arkansas, down to Louisiana. And they drew a big circle around it and said, "You have pissed us off now." And it's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
There was one of these idiots today basically said he basically said the rednecks up there would be too dumb to figure out how to go vote. He wasn't worried about them in the Carolinas now. I thought, you hadn't seen them build a bridge out of containers. I mean, they're just sitting containers into creeks and building bridges.
I seen a really cool land bridge that they built somewhere up there, out of logs.
Yeah.
And none of them's tied together or anything, but it's like old school method.
Hey, these people up there, really they live old school. Every day's old school for a lot of them in the mountains. God, it just makes me so mad. We're giving it to people that ain't even citizens, and they're letting our own people suffer and die. There ain't no telling how many's died, and we'll never know. They'll cover that up. Sitting there waiting on help, either starved to death or dehydrated or was hurt and couldn't get out to get medical help.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Elon Musk was on Tucker. You need to pull up a few of those if you hadn't.
I did.
Where Buttigieg stopped him, wouldn't let them fly their helicopters in and drop the Starlinks to them.
So that's what I was saying. I got on this last night. I just needed to unwind. You know how it is sometimes. And I was actually at a place where I could relax for a little while. I got on TikTok and I started going. And next thing I know, I've been on there, 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And then you were so wound up and mad you couldn't sleep.
Yeah. And that's basically all I was watching, because once you start looking at a certain thing, you just start getting that feed, and my feed was just full of it. And it's amazing how once again, the American people pull together when they say everybody hates each other and this and that. People's giving, even people that don't have it to give. I mean, there was one guy on there said, hey, I ain't really got nothing to give. I'm better than making it myself. He said, I come here to volunteer. I don't have a lot of money, but I can work.
Yep.
And I mean, there's just people, even big city people going to those rural areas helping. I mean,
oh yeah,
America America's strong.
No,
It's the government that's weak. You know what I mean? The government's weak.
Just don't believe what they're telling us. They want us to think we hate each other. We don't hate each other. Is there people out there,
Nope.
That we all disagree with? We wouldn't like this is all a government media made up deal. I don't hate people in New York. I don't even hate these illegals. I don't hate them. I just don't think they should be here the way they're here. And I don't think they should be funded the way they're funded. I was raised and I went to school. My school we went to, it was 50-50 blacks and whites. We got along great. There wasn't no issues. This has all been manufactured to divide us. Because when you're divided and fight amongst yourself, they can do whatever they want and do whatever they want to you. And that's what, people's just going to have to wake up and realize that and take off those rose-colored glasses and quit watching that crap. The best week I had was that week I was in South Dakota. Didn't get to I did not watch the news. Man, it was so great, so peaceful.
Yeah, don't be so weak-minded.
No. And there's, you know what? There's some Republicans. I don't consider myself Republican. I consider myself conservative because half them Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats. But I don't know. I done got wound up. We was fixing to end this thing. So that's just the end of it. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like you. I'll get into it and I won't even get no rest tonight.
I know. Well, we know who's got it all in control, and he's up there looking down, shaking his head right now at us. He knows, and I hope he's watching over everybody that's down there, up there and down there that's put up with this storm that's come through, and the one that's about to hit. So I just hope everybody, if anybody's down there listening to this, just know we're thinking about you and praying for you.
And watch yourself. Yourself.
That's right. Take care of your neighbor too.
Oh yeah.
So, well, all right.
Well, I guess this is it for me until we speak tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. If we text back and forth, but this will be the last recording until you probably get home because you'll be dead dog time. I not have no cell service anyway, so be careful.
That's been an issue.
Just be careful down there, and we'll be thinking about you. And tell Laura I know you'll be talking to her. Whatever she needs, I'm right here. I'll be the stand-in while you're gone if something breaks and she needs something done that medical boy can't take care of.
Well, one of the guys with me, Bob, he's one of his units on his house went out the other day, air unit, and he's like, man, I haven't had to call an AC guy in a while. I don't know. I said, look, don't worry. I said, if we have to, I got a buddy that will send a guy to your house. Don't worry. It's a little out of the way, but they'll go anywhere they need to go, especially to help somebody. And because his wife was in a panic. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
We're here. She's there. They're having to raise some grandkids that they shouldn't be having to raise. And, so, how it is in America nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, don't worry. Well, he didn't really think about it. He said he had done tell me that his son was, owned an electrical business and was, a great electrician. And so he asked me, he said, can you go by there and just take a look, make sure that the breaker didn't flip, whatever. Anyway, it was something to do electrical, wasn't no big deal. He had it fixed in about 20 minutes, so we didn't have to call Grissom, but you was about to get a call.
Well, we took care of it. So, I'll do anything for anybody down there that's doing this kind of work. So anyway, all right. Well, let's get off here and get on in. You may have to call Laura tonight. I don't know if you done talked to her or not, but So
not yet.
All right. Well, give the one and only my regards, and I guess we'll talk to you soon. But I'll
yes, sir.
All right. We'll see you in a week or sooner, Meeting Two Nation.
Yeah.